Hello and welcome. On behalf of the Red Rocks Community College Library, I will be reviewing how to access library databases and how to navigate through them. This is a skill you will need when looking for scholarly articles for your upcoming research paper. To start off, we're at the Red Rocks Community College main homepage, and we're going to go down to the navigation menu to reach the library website. So let's scroll down to the navigation menu. This is organized by alphabetical order, so you're just going to look for the L's and you'll see library services there and click on that. Now this is what the library homepage looks like. We do have an internal navigation menu here for help. The majority of it we're going to use today is the search engine here. So we have 3 different tabs. Search Everything is going to search everything that the library owns, whether it's physical or within our website and databases. When you're doing research, you want to generally click on the Articles tab. This is going to specifically look at any peer-reviewed articles or journal articles, scholarly articles, whatever you want to call them, that are within the library databases. So this is going to search every database that the library owns. For more discipline-specific databases, you can click on List of Databases by Subject. And this brings you to a subject list, which you can click on depending on the discipline that your research topic is under. So let's say you're doing science and technology. We do have 3 science and technology specific databases that you can look into. We'll look at this one, for example, right here. So when you're not on campus, this is what the access page is going to look like. It's going to ask if you are a student, faculty, or staff, because those are the only people who have access to that library databases. So you'll click on that, and it's going to actually have you sign into D2L. I'm already signed in, so it's going to take me directly to the library database. So this database is owned by EBSCOhost, and this is what the majority of our library databases look like, and I'll show you what another one looks like in a second. And if you're already in this page, you can actually change which database you're looking at. Any of the ones that we have that's owned by EBSCOhost, which is all of these right here. And again, all these databases are discipline specific. So I'm going to exit out of this and show you what another database looks like. For students who are doing any type of research topic, and whether it's multidisciplinary or they're just starting out and they don't really feel comfortable in looking in discipline-specific databases, I always tell them to look into these general ones right here. Now, most of these are multidisciplinary. So what that means is it's not going to be on one specific discipline. It could be on science, art, history. It's going to be a culmination of them all. So right here is Academic Search Complete. This is a really great database when you're just starting out. And again, Academic Search Complete is owned by EBSCOhost, so this is what that looks like. They all look pretty much the same, which is great for you guys. So you are already comfortable with this interface and you're able to search within it and do all types of stuff. So let's say my topic is going to be something about UX design. I want to know more about UX design. So this is what my search brings up for UX design. Now, because it's a very broad topic, it could have results almost about anything that centers around UX design. But the thing I want to focus on right now is looking at your refined results. So right here, all I did was just type in my topic. This is what it brought up. But if I were going to refine it a little bit, if there's specific things I need to look for, a big thing for a lot of professors, what they want when you're doing this part of your research is a lot of them do want only peer-reviewed articles. So what this means is that people in the same field as the person who may have done the research, they kind of reviewed it in a process, and they determined, that the person who did this research did use great methodology. They weren't fibbing about any of their data, nothing like that. So that's why you always want to look at peer-reviewed. That's how you know it's going to be like the best of any research article that you're looking at. All right, so that actually narrowed down our search by, looks like about 13 were taken out, which is great. Another thing I want to look at is, let's say your professor is very specific about the publication date. A lot of professors may ask you for research that's been done in the last 5 years, which is really great, Research is always constantly being done in a lot of these topics. So something that was published maybe 10 years ago may not be relevant. So let's narrow it down to 2015 through 2020 and see what that gets us. And that actually took our results down a little bit less. So now we have 17 results. One thing that students always have issues with is maybe they're looking for stuff that's research has been done in the US, but maybe other countries are coming up. You can use this to narrow it down to the US if that's an option. So now I want to move on to physically looking at the article, ways to access it. So right here we can see this one, it's only available in PDF full text, and this one is available in PDF and in HTML. So I'll click on this one and show you the difference between the two. All right, so this is what it looks like when you're looking in the database and you find an article you want to read. HTML full text looks like this. So it looks like you're on the web page and you are literally just, it's HTML, so you are just reading it on this web page. There's no way to save it. If you just want to read it real quick, you can scroll through it. This is searchable, so if you want to do Control F and type in design, it is going to show you all the words for that if you're looking for something specific. This is great if you don't need to save it, if you're just doing a quick read through. A lot of students, when they're looking for research, they always focus on the first paragraph. This is called the abstract. The abstract is a quick summarization of what the article entails. This is always good to do because you can read this and you could determine whether this article will help you or if it's not really in the topic area that you're looking for. PDF full text I do like a little bit more when I'm doing research, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it actually just pulls up the PDF of the article. I like this because you are able to download it. So you see this download button right here, or if you want to print it out, you could also just print it out from here to save it. Those are your two options of saving the article. Now we're back to this page because I want to show you some tools that will help you as well. The two links on here that I really like to show students, this first one is Cite. This will actually generate a full citation for you, and it is in alphabetical order by format. So a lot of you guys are going to be using either APA or MLA or Chicago. So if you scroll down, we'll see the APA one right here. So you can copy and paste that. And then always be careful when you're copy and pasting. You can see here the title of the journal is actually going to be italicized, so make sure when you're copy pasting that does reflect that the specific portions of the formatting are still going to be correct. We're going to scroll down. Let's say you need Chicago. The Chicago one's going to be right here. This is a great tool to use, but you always want to make sure that it's pulling the right information. So you always want to double check, this is the title of the journal or of the scholarly article and the journal that it came from. This is correct, and the volume number and the date. You always want to make sure that stuff's correct. One other thing I always tell students is a lot of the times, when you're looking at a web page, 9 times out of 10, you're just going to copy and paste the URL and save that for later. Well, the way that library databases work, unfortunately, is that this is, because remember earlier when we had to sign in, so this is actually a unique URL that is created only for the one time. So what I tell students is if you just want to go back and save the URL, the link is right here. It's called permalink. So you click on that, and right up here, that is going to be the URL that you are going to want to save. If you copy and paste this one up here, you copy it and then you put it back, you paste it later into the browser, it's going to be broken. It's not going to show you anything. So if you start saving all those URLs, you're really going to lose your work. So just take the extra step, go to permalink, copy and paste. So one other thing I want to go over is just looking at one other database. Like I said earlier, most of the databases that the library owns are owned by EBSCO. So I do want to show you one that's not, just so you can have an idea of what some other ones might look like. So we're going to look at Jstor right here. This is a really great multidisciplinary database that has all peer-reviewed articles. So let's click on that. Now the good thing about library databases is the majority of them have the same functionality. The interface is just going to look different. So this is what the search engine looks like. You can see it looks a little different. So we're going to do the same topic, UX design, and see what pops up for us. So as you can see, this does look a lot different, but it has the same functionality. So you can see on the side, it does say refine results. So I only want to look at journal articles, and that's going to be peer-reviewed articles here in Jstor. And I also, again, want to narrow it down from the last 5 years. So let's do 2015, 2020. Hit apply. And that's great. That narrowed our results down. We had 4,000, now we only have 400. One other thing that I'm noticing right here is really, really great little tip is I can see like design is kind of being thrown in here, and I'm looking for just UX design, not designs of any type. So what I want to do is put this in quotations, and that's going to bring my search down. Only 7. So let's see, because I said earlier user experience design would be a synonym to UX design. So let's do the same thing, actually spell it out. And that actually brought us completely different results. This is so great. So earlier we had 7, now we have 34. So let's look at this one right here and see how we can save it. It does look like we have several options. So this one will be download PDF. Again, like I showed you in the EBSCO one, this is going to physically download the PDF onto whatever device you're on. You could also hit save. What that will do will be very similar to EBSCO, is you would have to register and create an account, but then you'd be able to save it and have ease of access to anything that you save. There's also sharing options. So you could share via email, or if you want to do social media as well, it'll create a very unique URL and you can save it there. And then lastly, there's also a cite this. All right, so this looks like it just brings us the 3 most commonly used formats, which I already said earlier was MLA, APA, and Chicago. So yeah, it generates it for you. You just copy and paste it and save it for later. And then one last thing to save it, this does generate the URLs for you guys. So if you do want to copy and paste these, that's how you'd be able to get directly back onto it. Do not use this URL. This is a one-time use URL. But this one, this will bring you back. If you use either of these two, it'll bring you back to this direct page. So that's all I have for you guys. If you guys have any questions or if you run into any issues, we do have a 24/7 chat right here on our library website. It's not always going to be a Red Rocks librarian, but there is an academic librarian on the other side at all times. If you think you need some one-on-one, maybe a 15-minute research consultation, we do virtual ones right now. You could always book a librarian and we could do a WebEx meeting or give you a phone call and really walk you through the steps of how to do research.